Hey everybody, this is Nature Nate, and today I'm going to talk to you about a pair of boots. I'll have to be moving around back and forth through the shot in order to do that. But these boots I'm going to talk about are the Danner Pronghorns. So these are pretty much a tried and true hunting boot. They've been out for a long time. They've had some changes over time, but they've relatively stayed the same. And these that I'm wearing in particular are the 800 gram insulated. So they make 120 or 1200 gram insulated boot, but these are on the warmer side. And I'll say that even in winter, you can get away with, let's say about, I think if it was colder than 0 degrees, I would pick a different boot. But let's say 0 to maybe 50 degrees Fahrenheit, they're pretty comfortable boots to wear. They're an 8-inch high top boot, which is really nice. Pretty much gonna keep you dry in the snow. Just for an FYI, I've been tromping through waist deep snow for an hour to give these a proper test for you all. I've done that plenty of times, but I wanted to do that for the video. And I don't have gaiters or anything. I'm just wearing a pant over top of them. And really, I'm post holing in the snow. And yeah, there's some buildup up high that you can see that came out. But overall, it's pretty minimal considering what I've been doing. And if you were to wear gaiters, you wouldn't have an issue at all. So I've had these for probably 3 years now, and I really beat them up. They need a treatment. So you can see the leather's starting to soak through right here on the toe, and they've gotten pretty scuffed up over time. So they need a treatment. But overall, even still considering that, they're really solid boots. They don't soak through at this point. They're waterproof boots. And of course, with waterproof footwear, you're gonna deal with the issues of condensation and clamminess in the foot hiking around versus exterior forces. If you're actually in snow, you obviously want a waterproof boot pretty much no matter what. But if you're just hiking around, Gore-Tex and waterproofness isn't always good for a footwear, but that's really determined by the circumstance. Let's show the tread pattern. The tread pattern is fairly aggressive. You know, it's still kind of slick on ice. I had to go over some ice to get here too, and yeah, they're pretty slippery. I'd probably want to wear some kind of track with this if it was really icy. It's got a minimal heel right here, but the tread pattern for gravel, for rocks, for mud is pretty good. On straight ice, they're still a little slick, just something to be mindful of. Otherwise, the tread's really great and not super aggressive, but there's advantages to not having overly aggressive treads too. You're not gonna like catch them on rocks and stuff as much when you're hiking up a trail, let's say, and you have to step over a rock and you gently glance your sole against it. You won't catch and like trip yourself up on this versus like a super aggressive tread. So I actually kind of like that. A little bit more about the boot. It's got like a heavy duty nylon that's waterproof as well, where it's not leather. So it's got kind of a leather, the lower portion of the boot is leather around the heel, and then you've got a couple windows of this nylon, and also up around there's just little bits of leather for kind of reinforcement and strength, and then the nylon in between. So they do that to save weight. These boots are really lightweight considering they're waterproof winter boots. You can hike really easily in them. That's what the hunting boots are about from Danner mostly, is for miles. So they're really light, and because of that, you're compromising some things, like the durability is gonna be slightly less because of that. But, so that's something to consider. If you're trying to have like a 10-year boot, these might not, depending on how you use them. Like I'm using these boots a lot. I'm not using them for a once-a-year hunting trip kind of thing. If you're doing that, they're gonna last you a lifetime. If you're using them for mountain climbing, adventuring, and things like that, or as a daily wear, and if you're walking around on sidewalks and things like that as a daily wear, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna last you a really long time. If you're going through scree and rock fields and things like that, they totally get scuffed up, and truthfully, the leather's not that thick on these boots. It's a fairly thin leather overall. It's not like some of the other Danner boots that they have that are full-on thick, nice reinforced leather. So that's something to be considerate about, that it's for weight savings. A lot about these boots is weight savings, hiking miles. Something to be considerate about. The laces are really nice. The lacing system, they're really comfortable. So I got the 11.5 size. I would say for a normal person, how they wear shoes, I get my shoes big. I usually half size up. So I would say normally I'd probably wear an 11 in these, but I got the 11.5. I like for if I'm hiking down really steep hills, your toes don't jam up against the front. I like so you can wear a variety of different socks with them, and I just don't really have an issue with blistering. Also, unknown thing about blistering, tight boots are really what give you blisters compared to a looser boot. If you have a looser boot a lot of the time, you're not going to have those hot spots and those friction points, and you're not going to get as many blisters. That's very highly debated. I've learned that from very good sources, and I've also experienced it personally a lot. So it's just something to be mindful of. I think a little extra room is actually going to help with lessening your hot spots and your blisters. And also, if you do get blisters, it allows more room to use moleskin or wear thicker socks or something of that nature. When I have had blisters in the past, I'll use specific plants that I find to kind of use as a moleskin, and that works really well. So having a little extra wiggle room in your boot can help with that. Let's see, what other nice features about these boots? The tread pattern is good. The toe box is really wide. Let me show you that nice wide toe box. So my foot is not a clown foot, but that's just what these shoes are like, and they're really comfortable because of that. But if you're kind of clumsy, they might not be the best because of a larger, if you're clumsy with your own feet and you add some extra surface area and volume, you might be more clumsy, so just something to be aware of. But overall, these Danner Pronghorns are really great boots. They're one of my winter boots and 3-season, so the opposite 3-season, spring, winter, and fall boot. So that's what I like to use them for. Summer, they're gonna be way too warm with the 800 grams overall. You still can, if you're in really high elevation or something and it's in the 50s, these will be fine, but you are gonna sweat in them more than likely if you're hiking. But again, this is my second pair. I have had an uninsulated version as well. Tore them to snot, climbing mountains and stuff, going through gravel and scree. They only lasted me about a year, but that was with extreme mountain climbing and exposure to rugged conditions. So that's something to be conscious of if you're really getting after it. These boots are only gonna last you about a year if you're only using them seldomly and just for hiking, hunting, things like that. They'll last you a long time. Just something to be aware of. They're hunting boots. Because of the weight reduction, you're losing out on some of that durability for harder use. And this is no trails, bushwhacking, big rocks, lots of gravel, lots of scree. They're gonna get ripped up. But for things less than that, they're gonna be fine. They're actually very durable otherwise. So something to be conscious of. If I failed to mention, these are $250 boots. They're really great. They're my second pair, and I have other Danner hunting boots as well, so I can talk about those later. It's just too cold and snowy right now to do that. The other ones are not insulated, so I'll get back to those in the future. But otherwise, Danner Pronghorns are really great boots, and there's a reason I keep coming back to them. So this is Nature Nate, and thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and hopefully this video has been helpful to you. All right, have a good day.